Welcome back, folks, to another Pick Your Poison tournament cast. Another shout out goes out right here to Daniela and her crew for putting on this event. It's a great tournament. Show them some love. They've done an amazing job in bringing us all together here. Now, today we're looking at a round 2 series from Group G, which is actually not that low elo anymore. Let's actually check out what these players are. And we're hovering between 1300 and 1500 elo for this bracket. And yeah, so we're talking about really some decently talented players here, much higher than myself. So we're first and foremost looking to learn some stuff here, as well as, of course, enjoy ourselves while watching the games. For these two guys, we've got the draft up on screen right in front of us. It's going to be game one played on Nomad with Aztecs against Cumans. So let's start off with this one, shall we? Let's hop straight into that. Yes, there we go. We've got it all loaded up and ready. It's Hannes playing as the Cumans, seed 13 of the bracket, against Hopeless, the 12th seed, playing as the Aztecs. This should be, just judging by the seeding, a very closely fought series. And no matter who wins, we'll have a very unlikely candidate advance into the top 4. So we're going to have a very happy guy, probably, at the conclusion of this match. And let's figure out which one of these gents that's going to be, though. Let's first start out, though, as always, with the Civ overviews. We've got Hannes with the Cumans there on the left, so let's look at what they've got to offer. It's one of the Civs that I think are quite difficult to pull off, because there's many options, mainly, of course, around the town center timings. But it's one of the Civs that I think are really nicely designed, too. I love my fast cavalry, and the cheaper cost on those production buildings there is absolutely massive, I think, especially on Nomad as well, where you're often strapped for wood just by trying to keep up on water with both Navy and those fishing ships early on. And if you want to do any fast castle builds or any feudal aggression builds, just paying so much less wood for your production buildings is going to feel awesome. So yeah, big thumbs up for me from me here for the Cumans. Really like them a lot, and we'll see what Hannes can do here. Again, most importantly, interested in seeing when that second town center ends up coming in. On the other side, it's the Aztecs for Hopeless. I've commented on this a few times already, but that's one of the Civs I think are really cool as well. Generally, I am, of course, a mezzo enjoyer myself. But the Aztecs are a very unique mezzo Civ, although I would argue each one of those three is pretty unique in themselves. So what makes the Aztecs unique then? Well, the villager carry plus 3 resources of anything, so that's pretty great eco bonus throughout the game, really. Faster creation speed on military units across the board, also great. Pretty sure this also includes warships, so might be an interesting bonus to have there as we see the early game skirmishes for water control, perhaps. Also well known for the very powerful monks there. You get a lot of HP on those the more monastery upgrades you research, and couple that with extra starting gold. There's a very interesting civilization revolving around gold in some way. Also with the team bonus, generating more gold of relics is really a consistent theme. Greatest thing about the Civ, though, the Garland Wars, plus 4 infantry attack. Man, those fully upgraded eagles in the late game with Garland Wars slapped on top. That's just the dream for every Aztec player. You just roll through anything, really, at that point. Maybe we'll get to see that. Who knows? For now, let's check out where both players are at. Hopeless is actually housed right now, which is quite unfortunate. You can see the resources very well spent, and not allowing him to really make a lot of houses here to preempt this, I guess. But is going to get the villager production on the way again. Has, by merit of this, though, fallen behind quite a bit in eco numbers here. That's kind of the worst case scenario. They're getting housed on Nomad. both your fishing ship production as well as your town center villagers are gonna stop being produced. So that really sucks. We can see that 40 seconds of extra idle time, and that's already a 2 to 3 villager deficit already for the Aztecs. Oh goodness. Alright, let's see if Hannes can keep his production up and running though, because both these players here doing a good job operating kind of at minimal resources here. And fishing ship wise, it looks like Hopeless has a slight lead there. So, well, he's also lost that now. Thus, I would say Hannes probably pretty happy with how this early game has been going, as the dock also quite close to home, which can oftentimes be good. For instance, if the opponent is coming to take your fishing ships out and you need to send repair villagers over, that can be very helpful. Also, a relic right there is always a nice bonus to have. And let's check out the general starting locations. And we've got really, wow, I really like this start for the humans there. Good wood line, nothing massive, but still one good wood line. Lots of gold here in close proximity, and even a big stone not too far away. Lots of food surrounding the town center as well, as long as he's at least as long as he does at least a halfway decent job of scouting here, should be able to find those deer, and that has already happened. So yeah, gotta say I'm quite excited here for Hannes in this one. Let's see if he can capitalize on this. On the other side, Hopeless with quite a hopeful start, I would say. Gold right next to this, you see stone very close by. Woodlines are great, actually, even very wallable too. And the food situation is good as long as he's able to find the south. I'm not sure if he's scouted that yet. He has. Okay, so he's not going to be all that worried either. I don't think he's going to lure the boar now. And it's a fine spot. Has already grabbed loom as well, so that villager isn't going to run into any bigger troubles. Both players with the loom there. So, yeah, Aztecs plus 50 gold. Still keeping them up a bit in that regard. And let's see which of these guys is going to get up to feudal age first, what the strategies are going to be. Lots of villagers actually queued up here. Hannes could already click up to feudal age if he had that second building down already, but we see him being quite low on wood, so that might still take quite a bit of time. Nobody going for any crazy feudal age timing, and instead we see quite a few fishing ships here. 6 fishing ships already for both players, and Hopeless even queuing up another one. So they're really taking their time here in Dark Age. Maybe also due to the fact that they've not scouted their opponents just yet, or they haven't found them yet. So yeah, there we go. Hopeless able to find this house here might lead him to believe he's found the opponent. If of course on Nomad you spawn very close to the enemy, then maybe you want to go for the earlier possible up timings. Let's see if Hopeless has read this correctly though and is aware of the opponent's location. We have Hannes now first on the way to feudal age, with Hopeless likely to follow very soon. Actually has to put another villager in queue. Middle not quite up just yet, so he's probably delayed by a bit longer than he would have liked to ideally be. But it should still be manageable. The difference here in time, really 40 seconds, nothing massive. And eco number wise, both are comparable at least, although still that housing effect is still felt there for Hopeless. It's going to be 2 villagers behind there once the opponent advances, so maybe that's gonna snowball. Definitely think though, with good strategy he can make up for this. We're not operating at pro level either way, so yeah, maybe margin for error is a bit bigger than you are typically used to from the King of the Desert games that you've likely watched today. Great tournament as well. Shout out there to Mem for organizing that one, although that's not the main focus of attention here. Okay, let's see now that the humans have hit feudal age what their strategy is going to be, and it looks like it's just straight fast castle. Opponent also staying in Dark Age very long, so makes sense to just try and get up there. You don't even know where the opponent is yet, so it would be very difficult to try and go for any harassment. Double dock actually for Hannes. Has the wood that he needs though, or does he? Yes, with the Cuman's bonus, that wood is going to be sufficient to put up a barracks and then, well, just a stables probably. And with that, he's going to be able to click up quite comfortably there on the way to the next age. For the Aztecs, they're going to go for the classic blacksmith and market. Two villages here are probably going to be enough. Oh, that was really nicely timed. If he's able to queue it up right after the market goes up, nicely done. Okay, both players with identical castle age times. Hopeless really with a smooth transition. Absolutely seamless, able to make up for some lost time there. But the aforementioned villager gap is still there. 3 extra villagers on Hannes' side. And thus, small advantage for the Cuman so far. Let's check out the resources collected actually. Because the fishing ships are 8 to 9 in favor of the Aztecs. Both players commencing that unit production now. And there we have it. Hannes actually with almost 800 extra resources. That's the power of getting the early eco lead here. First and foremost. And is adding the second town center on the way up to Castle Age. Really good timing there. Also, in the meantime, making some scouts apparently. At least has made one. So maybe he just wants to actually have the utility out of the unit and doesn't feel like he's going to be able to raid a lot. On the other side, Hopeless has also made a scout there. But is queuing up more of them, so is definitely going for a different kind of approach here. As we see water play first for Hannes, and no warships yet at all for the Aztecs. If I'm making 9 fishing ships, I think it's a very curious choice not to go for any navy to defend those. So I wonder how he's going to play that. But he's just on 1 dock and not making any navy, so it's likely that he'll just end up giving up the water here. Or maybe, well, I'm not sure. He's got options for sure, but both players now in Castle Age. Much more eagles being queued here, so definitely a full commitment onto land for Hopeless. That's what I like to see as a big land enthusiast myself. Maybe can make something happen with that. We've got some skirmishing here in the middle. Great trade so far for the Aztecs. Not the scout fast enough to pull out of there. We've got the Cuman's bonus though. So, well, that wasn't necessary. Very fast cavalry. You don't really need to give up your scouts like that, right? But either way, able to trade back with the knights. And knights are really difficult units for you to fight with eagles. You never want to be taking that. I guess in the super late game or with tons of upgrades, it's okay. But it's not really ideal. So Spearman being queued up now for the Aztecs is a reasonable choice. But Hopeless ends up losing another Eagle Warrior here. And third TC already going up for Hannes. He's got a lot of villagers and fishing ships there on food. So it's a pretty good spot. And also good wood economy behind this to be able to go into farms soon. Hey, glad to have you in chat, Hopeless. Even if you can't stay for very long, I'll upload this to YouTube as I've done with all my casts. So if you're curious, I haven't casted a lot of Bracket G yet, but if there's any other matchups or just this one that you would like to watch back, perhaps at some time you can find it on my YouTube channel in the PYP Watts playlist. It's gonna go up there in 24 hours, so rest assured. Yeah, interesting match here. I don't, of course, know how this one goes, but big Aztecs enjoyer myself, so I always love seeing me some Eagle play. This is unfortunate though. I'm still not sure if this is ideal play. Going for 9 fishing ships and then making no navy to protect them. Maybe you're just happy having been able to go to Fast Castle without having to protect your fish, and you'll just gladly drop them from there. But I'm not sure. 9 fishing ships just seems like a pretty big amount, and Hannes now sensing that they're probably going to win the water. Actually made another few fishing ships here, so really trying to lean in to this angle. Hopeless branching out to get a second town center down, but we really see this eco gap already pretty big there. Hannes having gone for that second TC on the way up to Castle Age. That's the Cuman's luxury, of course, and with the third one out even before Hopeless was able to drop his second one. I like the early Eagles. It's one of my favorite units as well, but was pretty big investment into land units that haven't done anything just yet. He hasn't raided yet. Gets a conversion there, so it's decent trade, but those knights are still gonna cause some trouble. We see those eagles here, no squires on them, I don't think. So, they're going to take a while to get over there. Gate going to be able to be repaired though, surely, right? Alright, overcome the eagles, and I said earlier how you don't want to fight knights with eagles, but now that the upgrades start coming in and that the numbers are this lopsided, no issue anymore with that. And to be fair, I mean, Hopeless has adapted a bit and has made a few fire ships to keep those fish alive for a bit longer, but still, it's 2 docks against just 1, so if Hannes were to go hard for water, I don't think Hopeless could hold up there, but just trying to keep the fish well alive for as long as possible, it seems. And try to get squeeze that last juice out of them before they get taken out. That's what it kind of feels like here. And now the Eagles are going to try and look forward to see if some raiding is possible. Bringing a villager with him, interesting. So we're going for a very aggressive push here. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Opponent having gone into knights here might prove very difficult to push down with just some siege and eagles. Down goes the siege workshop will, and I'm sure Hopeless has envisioned this very much differently. Takes pretty painful trade there with those eagle warriors. Let's see how it turns out in the end. The upgrades are kind of similar on both sides, and it's a close one, but actually, well, strategically, I guess Hopeless comes out fine here, but resource-wise, this was not a good trade for him. Losing a lot of eagle warriors in this process, and that's a tough one here. He really wanted to make a very aggressive push happen, but had he gone for pikemen or for just a few more monks and sent them forward with the eagles, would have had to have been a slower push in that case, of course, but I think that is the most efficient units you've got against Cuman knights, is the monks for the Aztecs, although still Cuman knights very fast moving, so maybe even monks could struggle against that. Either way, these trades have not been efficient so far, and thus Hopeless is going to have to adapt if he wants to push in here at all. Drops another monastery forward, so recognizes the danger of the knights, but Hannes also very wisely going into light camp at the same time, so wow, and now it's even camels too, so we're going triple cavalry. I think this might have been a misclick, this one camel, but maybe it wasn't, who knows. I mean, it's not typically the units you see against Aztecs, so I doubt it was really intentional. But, well, we'll see how this goes. Double cavalry here for Hannes is really good, I think. You're covering all your bases here for now. Countering the eagles with the knights, countering the monks with the light cav. I like to see that. And now he's even trying to go for a castle drop here, it seems. Let's see how aggressive he's going to get with this. Probably just trying to take this hill in the middle. Seems reasonable, although it doesn't really control a lot of res. I guess it is still decent map pressure. In go the knight or the eagle warriors, but the knights are there to back them up. And this is going to be yet again big eagle numbers, but I think it's gonna be a difficult trade to take for the Aztecs. Same story as the first one, kind of. Has barracks nearby, so we see more reinforcements coming in, but this has not been... Oh, it's a slaughter really there at the hands of the Cumans. Monk comes in again, gets another conversion. His monks have been on point really. It's always been able to get a conversion out of them. But he's just had too few really to swing these battles. And the castle is going to go up here no matter how many eagles keep trickling in there. Don't think that's going to be able to be averted anymore. Oh, and this game is going very nicely for Hannes. We see the eco difference, 30 extra villagers, very well fortified base, has naval control, 10 fishing ships still up there, although the warships have been destroyed lately apparently, so not, I guess, doesn't have full pressure there. Overall though, Hopeless hasn't been able to find any damage yet, and so it's not a game state that I envy. Yeah, can't say that I would love to be in this one myself. Let's see, maybe, does he have any relics that could help him get back into this? We know Aztec relics, able to gather a lot of gold with them. He's got the one in the south here. But that is kind of the only one that I see right now. Oh, one in the east as well, that should be quite possible to pick up. Meanwhile, still struggling heavily to establish a foothold in the middle. I think he really kind of has to bite the sour apple, or whatever the saying is in English, and go for pikemen. I just think it's kind of imperative at this point. Opponent has the 2 counter units to your main units, is on the way to imp. Now 40 villagers up for Hannes, and without having to do a whole lot here, he's maneuvered himself into a pretty good spot, controlling his corner of the map without any issues. He's got that 1 relic up there, of course, that we've already spotted. We like to see this one though. Hannes now recognizing that maybe he can do some damage on water. Sends those fire ships forward. Doesn't have a huge armada, of course, but still going to pressure the fish from Hannes and force him to invest a bit more into navy if he doesn't want to give up the fish just yet. Eagles also being sent around the side to potentially look for some raids there. I don't think that is a bad idea at all. So, hey, maybe there's still some angles for Hopeless to take in this one. Working away at the docks for now, but maybe he's gonna be able to find some fishing ships eventually. That would be kind of the ideal scenarios. Take out a few fishing ships, because that is the easiest eco to raid in the game, right? I mean, Eagle Warrior raids are awesome and we love to see it, but it's difficult to get through with them. So we see the 4th relic of the map over here in the west. I'm not quite sure where the 5th one is just yet. But those navy raids, they can really be destructive. Fishing ships very difficult to keep alive. You can't garrison them, so oftentimes difficult. Another conversion attempted. Let's see how good the Aztec monks are. And it looks like there's not a lot of upgrades on those. And that's 2 kills for the price of 1 light cav. Hannes going to take that any day of the week. Looks like an Eagle Warrior actually ended up getting in here. Might have been an overchop down in the south, but hey, a small success here definitely for Hopeless. 7 kills on those eagles here. He's been able to take a small cavalry force out here. Only issue is the opponent is now in Castle Age and makes, or in Imp rather, makes a 3rd type of cavalry. I'm not sure I agree with this one though. Step Lancers are the play for Hannes here, but he's really losing a lot of them. He still only has Feudal Age upgrades while being an Imp. I definitely disagree with this. Why are we just throwing Step Lancers into the meat grinder that are these Aztec Eagles, which are still ironically better upgraded than the Cuman Cavalry? And Hopeless has been able to get through those walls here. That's got to be infuriating to deal with for Hannes. And for the first time in this game, we see very good damage done to the Cuman Eco. Those Eagles are really going to be a pain in the ass to clean up here. And those Step Lancers have really traded horribly into the Eagle Warriors. No other way to put it, man. This has gotta feel so annoying for the humans who had such a stranglehold on this game. But now the eco numbers are almost the same. How crazy is this? We had a 30 villager lead here a second ago. But those eagles have been mercilessly rampaging through the village and taking out men, women, and I guess if there were children in this game, they wouldn't have been spared either. I think the knights are really the much better bet here for the humans, but upgrades still aren't great for them. I wonder why he's not investing into those. He's really struggling with gold apparently. Eco really in shambles at this point for Hannes. And is he on the verge of throwing this game? I mean, Hopeless is fully committed to a Castle Age all-in, and he's still got a long way to go to close this one out. But just based on feelings, Hannes has got to feel awful here, losing, what was that, like 45 eco units in the last, what was it, 3 minutes? 5 minutes? Either way, this is absolute horror for the humans. Still haven't closed the hole in their base and might actually be losing that castle sometime soon, since it looks like Hopeless is preparing a push there as well. Alright, great job getting these eagles in there. That's what we love to see out of the Meso bros. In they go yet again. Man, this is just so annoying. Sure, the cavalry is really fast moving for the humans, but the eagles aren't slow either, and thus takes ages to even just clean up a small group of them. Cavalier upgrades in, while still the Castle Age or the Feudal Age upgrades only from the blacksmith. That I really gotta criticize here out of Hannes. Think would have been resources way better spent if he had gone for some blacksmith upgrades. sometime sooner. Looks like even the fishing ships are suffering a bit here now. The Eagles able to raid those as well. Oh man, that's just insult to injury. Finally, I guess it's been sort of stabilized. Looked like there was a gate put up there again, but somehow got destroyed once again. This castle drop was prevented as well for Hopeless. I didn't even see that go through, but great job there responding to this one. And Hannes is really struggling a lot here, trying to put up the defenses again. Has he lost his grip on this game? He's still got the Eagles on the back here on his farming eco. I mean, at this point, Hopeless could also just transport some Eagles here into the back line. Honestly, with a transport ship, he could be doing absolutely devastating amounts of damage here. Now, the flip side of this is the Cavalier for Hannes are a unit that Hopeless doesn't have any answer against as of now. He's got a few monks. He's now starting to make pikemen, which I like a lot. Good job there with the upgrade. So that's going to help if the Cavalier were ever gonna start raiding the Aztec eco. This is not a well fortified base at all though. So if I'm the Aztecs, I really gotta worry about if Hannes is ever able to stand some Cavalier forward. I might be just as toasted as he is right now in terms of the eco. This is just incredible amounts of damage though. I mean, huge props to Hopeless. It looked quite like his name implied for a while. Where do they come from, Hannes asks. Can't seem to find out how the Eagles keep getting in. But it's just crazy here. It looked so good for the humans. They had such a smooth sailing game going on, but really in the last 10 minutes nothing has worked out for them anymore. Luckily they still have the luxury of being up to imp first, and thus with trebuchets, that's gonna be difficult to contest for the Aztecs here. Eagles are great at taking out siege, but Cavalier they're protecting, so you're gonna need to build up more pikemen, I think, before being able to storm that forward. Castle is going to go down here, but already Hopeless dropping a second one a little bit further back. Eco situation now looking very good for him, of course. 90-2 Eco KD really tells the story of this game. Still just quote unquote a 25 villager advantage for the Aztecs here. I don't know, they've got some big issues here in terms of population. They haven't made villagers in quite a while, and they're pretty badly pop-locked here by the castle going down. So that's something I don't like. Would love to see him expand a little bit more in terms of eco and also fortify the base a bit before the humans start pushing, really. Would be good idea to kind of protect the eco a little bit more. Then again though, his eco is in a fine-ish spot right now. This has gotta hurt though, allowing this town center to go up here in the east. Not ideal. Idles the gold mining villagers for quite some time, but this is exactly what we were looking for the Aztecs here. Both trebuchets go down and Hannes is really strapped for gold here. Oh, this is so brutal to look at. Oh, don't tell me that's where the gap is. No, there's no gap here. Oh man. Yeah, he was trying to. Yeah, he was thinking maybe there's a way in here. Oh boy. Gotta make sure not to get caught by these Cavalier, but still just feudal age upgrades for Hannes. Has he deleted his blacksmith? I mean, I'm not sure what's going on there, but no, it's right there. Why are we not upgrading anything there, mate? Oh, I guess he's just really short on gold and doesn't feel like he can afford it. But he's losing the grip on this game here. Incredibly, Hopeless going for that full castle age play. Doesn't even seem to be bothered with going up to imp anytime soon. And he's kind of doing it here, right? I mean, this isn't gonna... I'm not sure about this one, mate. I guess I'm just passing by here. No Cavaliers in the area. And the Eagles, oh boy, don't tell me they're gonna break in again. This can't be real. This can't be real. The Cavalier are there to kind of defuse the bomb, so to speak. But it's so difficult for Hopeless. He's spent tons of resources on Eagle Warriors. And sure, he's done immense damage, but he hasn't gained really any of the map control. Has even lost one of his castles. Both players really not drowning in rest, so to speak. Two castles up for the humans that are really bothering the Aztecs here. might really want to think about making a transport ship and dropping eagles behind enemy lines. That would be a pretty good play, since we know the humans don't have a lot of water units out anyways, so no way to really stop that. Would love to see that. Hitman, hey there in chat. I'm sorry, I didn't even see you arrive here. Where's German casting a German player but not in German and not promoting on German Discords? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the German community here in AOE2 really. Yeah, I haven't been actively participating in the community for quite long myself anyways, so apologies for that, I guess, but I wouldn't even know if either of these guys were German, so definitely no malintent or anything. I'll just keep this stream in English for the most part, either way. But yeah, always cool to meet people, and if they want to shoot me invites to interesting discords, sure, why not? Hannes is German. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it's a pretty German name, so not terribly surprised. But oh, thanks, man. You even subbed in with a prime here, didn't you, Hitman? Oh, big props. Thanks for supporting there. Don't have really AOE2 sub emotes yet, but I've got some follower emotes and I've commissioned some new ones, so we'll get there. We'll get some cool stuff for the followers as well as the subs sometime soon. Alright, this game has really stalled out a bit. 50 minutes in, the front lines haven't really moved at all. Hannes has been able to hold on to his control with the castles, has lost a lot of eco, but has fully rebuilt it now. So while Hopeless is on the way to Imp, the eco situation makes me believe Hannes, having re-established control, having re-walled his base, maybe now with a second attempt at building up an army, could be looking to close this game out sometime soon. I'm really not sure about these step lancers. I mean, I love the unit myself as well. It's gorgeous and all. Sure, I get that. I'm just not sure step lancers are that great in this one. Like, which of the enemy units do you need step lancers against? The pikemen? I don't think so. The monks? Not really. The eagles? We saw how that went earlier. No thanks. So if you just want to have a few around to raid enemy villagers, sure, I guess, but I think I really want to commit onto some other units primarily, and he's really making a wide array of different units right now. So he's not really committing to any one thing. We've got crossbows, we've got light cav, we've got a pair of kipchaks as well, cavaliers from earlier. Now getting some traps in too. Alright, we're bringing a whole garage sale of cavalry. Well, can't even say cavalry only because we've got crossbowmen as well. So he's really diversifying that army comp, and let's see if Hopeless has anything to back this up. Ironically, this could be a really good play in this game to go for this diverse an army comp, because the opponent has a way worse eco and is not going to be able to tech into anything to respond to all these different units that are going to be hitting them. Crossbow is going to be difficult to deal with for the pikemen, and even the eagles are taking quite a lot of damage from those feudal age upgrades. Crossbowmen. Are we playing like a challenge type stuff where is this like the Viper versus 1500 Elo player challenge where we only make feudal age upgrades from the blacksmith? Or that's like the only complaint I have with Hannes. Maybe the overlay is bugged too at this point, I don't even know. This trade is a great one for him though. He's taken the entire infantry out and only losing a few crossbowmen in return. He's gonna love that one. And I think he's gonna be able to push in now with the trebuchets that he's still got around. Also looking to go down soon. And even getting some raiding done here in the east in the meantime. That's what I said. I don't think this eco was very well fortified for Hopeless. And of course, he's always been fighting multiple fronts, so I get why he didn't necessarily keep up with everything. But it looks like really he's crumbling at multiple parts right now. Gotta give Hannes credit here. He struggled super hard with protecting his eco. He was far behind in eco numbers actually for quite a long time in this game here at the start of Imp. But he's been able to fully rebuild and now pushing forward in a much more controlled fashion. I don't think Hopeless is going to be able to stop this at this point. The eco numbers are through the bottom and no map control left whatsoever for the Aztecs. So, yeah, I guess Hannes is doing it after all. The 13th seed here, looking to go 1-0 up in the series, and one step closer to the semi-finals apparently, if he's just able to close this one out, which, well, I won't put it past Hopeless to somehow find a way back into this, but realistically, shouldn't be possible there. Let's not kid ourselves. Doesn't control any part of the map anymore. The defensive castle quite a bit late after all the eco has already been raided down, so I respect the attempt, but probably not gonna do much to turn the tides here anymore. Or is it? Kipchaks would be better than Crossbow? I think so as well. Hopeless calls the GG. I would love to see some more Kipchak there for Hannes, but Crossbow did their job against the enemy infantry, right? I mean, that I guess was the main point. He made all the different units that he could find, I guess. It did end up grabbing some castle age upgrades from the blacksmith, so hey, okay, he did remember that building still existed, but that's really the only criticism I have from him, apart from allowing all those eagles to get in, but that always happens to the best of us, right? I mean, you always have some games where you get some raiders into your eco, well, without even knowing really where the opening is at times, right? We've all been there. This time around was just never able to close the gap in the south here on the front, and that made for devastating eco damage, but credit to him for being able to re-establish control in the end and close out the game. And that was a close one. I was really sweating for him there. Looked like he might have thrown a prime position away to win game 1 of this series. So yeah, definitely not a stomp here in game 1. Wouldn't be surprised if Homeless on his home map was able to bounce back in the series. Let's see what we got here. We've got Arena for game 2 apparently, and the matchup seems to be Italians versus Magyars. Seems like Magyars are as if that quite a few players were forced to play on Arena already in this tournament. And let's jump into the game right away, shall we? Well, gotta see if Hopeless has any fuel left in the tank. Arena is Hannes' home map as well. I don't think that could be true, right? I mean, Hannes just won the game, so we have to play on Hopeless's home map by the rules of the tournament. At least if these guys stuck to that, which of course I can't prove or disprove. But let's jump right in. It is Arena here, and again, that is supposed to be Hopeless's home map, because he did lose that first game. So unless they made some fuck-ups, we've got the Magyars here looking to extend the series on their home map. If they lose this one, of course, they're out of the tournament, so we gotta see. Oh, you're just saying that Hannes is comfortable on Arena. That's some good intel to have. Of course, I don't know that, but oftentimes here in these events, people don't have the biggest map pools, so wouldn't be too surprising if the home map was making a big difference, but the agents I have in chat here telling me that Hannes in fact is very comfortable on this map too, so let's see how it turns out, shall we? Got Magyars against Italians. Let's start here on the right hand side. Magyars not one of the most well-known arena civs, and probably for good reason. They have a really good late game, so it's not like they're completely dead in the water here. I love the late game. There's lots of options for Magyars. Really good arbalests, I think, if I remember correctly. Great cav archers, of course. That's, I guess, mainly what they're known for in the late game. Can't complain about the light cav either. You're not completely done here if it goes late. But of course, what they really are most known for is their great early game combination of bonuses there with their cheaper scouts, and then the, well, free blacksmith upgrades for cavalry and infantry attack. Huge power spikes in early feudal age especially, and that's when most of the time on open maps that really gets exploited. Not going to be able to be done here, most likely, unless we're going to see some crazy cheese type of stuff here out of Hopeless. Yeah, that's sad for him, but let's head on over to the Italians, who I think we've also seen, actually, we might have seen this exact matchup on this stream before on Arena. And I think the Italians came out quite well in that one. I don't remember Magias doing too hot on this map just yet. But what do the Italians have that would make them good on Arena? What bonuses are great? And there, I guess, we have the cheaper advance times, or cheaper advance costs, I should say. Really, just making that fast castle easier, maybe able to get up a bit earlier and start the TC booming a bit sooner. So, well, that bonus is just going to be great on any map, to be honest. Not really going to be able to make use of all the naval bonuses here, so I guess I get why Italians are maybe one of the lesser evils here that you would want to face on Arena. But with the Genoese crossbows, I think maybe that's a unit that can actually serve a great purpose here, playing against the Magyars, going for a lot of cavalry traditionally. So, hey, maybe Hannes not going to be all that mad with the Civ that he ended up with there. And yeah, most of these Italian bonuses not going to be too big on this map, I don't think. But as I said, advance costs being cheaper is great. And maybe the cheaper gunpowder too, honestly. I mean, you are going to get to the later stages where gunpowder typically is most used, obviously. So, maybe he can make that work. And I really wonder how Hopeless is going to look to play this one. So maybe matchup-wise he wouldn't be favored, at least not by me. But I'm by no means a pro player. And maybe the Magyars like him is just great enough to be completely fine in this one. But really, the only thing that matters is how these players feel about that, and what options or strategies they end up opting for as a result. Very curious scouting tactic here by Hannes. I don't think I've seen that before. Scouting around the edge of the map first things first. And Hopeless actually still... Oh no! My apologies. He's now pushing the deer, but he's already scouted out on the map a bit. Has also scouted around this part, I guess. So very interesting scouting choices. So hey, doesn't look like the relics have all been scouted yet by either player. I'm not sure if they're going to be a major focus. In terms of proximity, I think Hopeless has actually got a pretty decent generation here. Some of these relics quite close to him. Maybe that could be a way he could try and contest this one. Do we already have a feudal age timings? Soon it looks like Hannes might be going up quite soon actually. Remember, cheaper cost there for the Italians. Maybe after this next villager, I think a fast castle of 24 villagers should be very well possible playing as the Italians. And for the Magyars over here, honestly, 24 might even be doable for them as well, depending on how many corners you want to cut. Pretty much exactly the same advance time for both players here, with minuscule idle times, 24 villagers each, and on the way to Castle Age we are. And what is the strategy going to be? Barracks out first for Hopeless. That is interesting. I'm interested in seeing, since, again, this is not low elo play, and thus I expect the builds to be quite clean. Going for barracks here with 24 villagers. Let's see if he's gonna have the rest necessary to get the FC completely smooth. On the other side, Hannes also going for the barracks, but remember, he needs less res for that castle age timing, so I'm way more confident in the Italians being able to get there. It's also, yeah, he didn't forget about that house. I was gonna say he's gonna need to put that up soon, but he is already working on it, so no worries there. Yeah, we gotta see. I don't think Hannes is gonna struggle too much, but maybe could be a bit difficult for Hopeless to get there. But judging by the resources that he's got, oh yeah, he's already queued up the 2 villagers. No problem with him. Yeah, he's also gonna get this off super nicely. No problems there, I think. So I can't complain this far. Really even game, and we got stable and blacksmith for the Italians to open up with. Interesting. The other side, it's stable market for the Magyars. Alright, what is this going to be? Are we just going to play for the relics? Because stable, barracks, blacksmith, that's really all you need to try and contest for the relics in early Castle Age. Hannes is already on the way up, as we said, and there goes Hopeless as well with 15 seconds of idle times or something here. Might have not gotten up the buildings just in time, but either way, he's not going to be too far delayed, and thus I can't say he's fallen behind just yet right here. And actually keeping up with the Italians, despite their resource discounts, might even be seen as a small victory for him. Well, now I guess let's see how they try to do this. We're getting those scouts from both players. Spearmen out already as well for Hannes. We are going to see people heavily going for the relics here, apparently. Eco upgrades coming in now for Hopeless as well. Hannes has already grabbed them. And looks like both players on... Oh no, actually 2 lumber camps already for Hopeless. Makes me wonder where that town center is going to go. Because typically people just put at least one of them just all the way up against the wood line to, yeah, and kind of use that second town center as a second lumber camp. Hannes is very likely going to do that. Oh yeah, has a beautiful spot over here in the west. But there we see the advantage of going into spearmen early. Hannes getting a great trade down here and controlling the relics. Hopeless, no spearmen out whatsoever just yet. He might struggle actually getting a foothold in the middle. And with Hannes also being faster up to Castle Age as well, he'll get that monastery up so much faster than the opponent. And it's likely going to be going into monk production here. Half a minute or a minute ahead of Hopeless. So, man, Italians looking fine so far. Great choice adding those spearmen so early. But Hopeless is not going to budge at all. Looks like he's not interested into making anti-cav at all. He's also got the monks on the way now, but I wonder how he's going to play this. He knows the enemy has scouts on the map as well, so I'm not sure I like the complete vulnerability there that you'll open these old men with books up to. And look at this, great job by Hannes. He's just leading Hopeless to his spearman. He's trying to get maximum value out of those units. Was a great investment, and really interested to see what Hopeless thinks here. Why he didn't initially want to go for any spearmen and hasn't added any since. 3 town centers up for Hannes already. Gets really nice spots there. Yeah, can't complain about this. Hopeless only has 1 up so far. Has the resources to put a 3rd TC up too, but maybe the food economy just doesn't justify it so far. Looks like he got a pick on this monk, but not before the relic was transported meaningfully closer to the Italian's gate. So it's not like Italian, or not like Hannes really threw that one away for nothing and is able to secure the first relic here. Monk coming out for Hopeless now, but this is really difficult. Like, how are you gonna win this one? You've got a scout and a monk against 2 scouts. Conversion starts coming in. Late switch for Hannes, but I think he's gonna get this kill off. Yeah, and this is terrible news for Hopeless. Trades 1 for 1 plus the monk here. Big investment on that side. And it's 1 to 1 in terms of relics. Looks like he has been able to grab one here in the east at least. So, nice job on that. But without any spearmen. He's now making his first spearman. No, I think that might be a bit late here. Don't wanna overreact here, but looks like this relic is already as good as gone. No more scouts left on the map for Hopeless here. He's really struggling to keep all of this up. No 3rd town center. Has just now put down a few more farms in order to not have to idle these TCs anymore. But yeah, having gone for way less army than the opponent. Sure, he's got less idle times on those TCs. He's got eco numbers that are quite comparable still, despite having 1 TC less. But all that is going to change as soon as Hannes' food eco starts taking off, which it is going to do pretty soon here, I imagine. And since he's controlling the middle here right now, I don't think he's going to be worried about making too much more too much military here in the next minutes. So I expect this eco balance to get way out of hand soon. Quite similar to the game 1 actually. Looks like it's gonna be. Oops. Oh, looked like it was just a pause here for a second. What I was gonna say is, yeah, looks like the relic situation at least is quite even. So despite investing way less into military, Hopeless was still to go 2 for 3 in terms of relics. But still, that is one additional relic for the opponent, and his eco is still looking better than yours. So can't really call it a victory. Still struggling out here with those monks and not gonna be able to bring that last relic home. Alright, the eco is still in a fine spot as Hannes keeps having to idle these town centers here, it looks like. Actually ends up getting Bosaw here, which further delays the villager production by a bit. But slowly but surely he's gonna start moving ahead though. 30 TC has been added for Hopeless, and he's also got the farm numbers down. So I guess maybe he's been able to get through the phase here that was most difficult in terms of villager production. And he's not gonna fall all that far behind. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. It has been quite the cleaner build, I would say. It just looked much more solid and controlled from Hannes' side. If I'm real here, it looked like he had a much more firm grasp on the middle, and the fact that he got an extra relic, despite, as I initially said, the relics being skewed a bit more to the opponent's side, I think really says a lot. And has that 5 villager lead, so he should be in a really good state here. Then again, though, I said this in the beginning, Magyar late game is not to be underestimated. So it's not like it's all going to be smooth sailing from here on out for Hannes. He's still going to have to find a good strategy and army comp against the Magyars. And he's heavy on stone right now, so that seems to be his next play. Trying to look for some castle. I wonder how aggressive that's going to be. I imagine he would just try and secure some rest for the time being. I don't think he's in a position to go for a big castle forward and start his push just yet. Although maybe by the point he's got this 650 stone up as he drops a 4th town center. It looks like by the point he gets the 650 stone, he's already going to be approaching Imp. So in that case, maybe you want to start pushing already. If you feel like you've got that small score lead, maybe you feel like you're a bit ahead in the game. Could mean that with a good Imp timing, he is gonna try to make that trebuchet push happen. I would be surprised though. Generally, I think he doesn't know enough just yet in terms of what his opponent is doing to justify a balls to the wall forward castle. But who knows? It's actually Hopeless who ends up going for Imp first. He doesn't have a castle just yet, of course, but as the buildings dropped and with a fine-ish eco, I mean, he's still a 10 villages actually behind as of just now. And with that one town center being idle, researching Imp, the gap is going to widen a bit before he's able to get there. The additional town center for Hannes, coupled with the cheaper up cost, coupled with the already existing villager lead, makes me believe that the Italians are in quite a good spot here. And forward go the villagers. How far forward is the question. Are we just going to secure some rest, or are we looking to drop it on the enemy's doorstep? Spearman skirmishes again breaking out. Alright. This is the battle for supremacy here in the middle. Oh boy, I'm not sure the scouts are going to do a lot here, but good job actually getting by the spearmen without taking any hits, forcing the enemy monks back, and yeah, good job. He actually just buying himself some space. Can't lie, this has been pretty good, pretty well done. Looks like he's gonna lose the spearman here to a conversion though, which is a bit iffy. He's gonna get this castle up though, I'm pretty sure. This would be horrific if it doesn't, but he's got enough villagers that 1 or 2 knights aren't gonna cost him a lot here. This castle is up, and there he goes on the way to Imp himself. No castle just yet for the Magyars, so despite their way earlier Imp timing, they're not gonna actually get a lead in terms of trebuchets yet. Now Hannes doesn't know that. He doesn't know that Hopeless doesn't have any castle, but I guess seeing now that it's going to be a castle behind his gate, I guess he will assume that this is going to be the first castle for the Magyars, despite them being up to imp already. Alright, we're still in a relatively close game here, but 20 extra villages for Hannes, up to imp now as well. January's crossbowman in the queue. Tex coming in for Hopeless now, he's going heavily to Cavalier, but also with some elite skirmishers apparently. So good to see he's not just all in on one unit. But Hannes is gonna bring the heat. It looks like barracks forward for some pikemen. And the siege to back it all up. On top of the Genoese and the trebuchets that he's already got queued up. So is he going to be able to push in here? We might be looking at the last game of this series. If Hannes is able to win here, he moves on to the semifinals as the 13th seed, man. That would be respectable results here, much more respectable than my own. I mean, but yeah, looks like this guy is in a pretty good spot here. It's not done yet though, he's still got to bring it home, and it's not like Hopeless is hopelessly out of this game just yet. He's getting all those upgrades he needs. Look at the blacksmith, it's quite well researched, mainly due to, of course, the Magyar bonus for the free attack upgrades. In go the Cavalier. Looks like that's going to be a very costly raid though. He's going to try and take out the trebuchet, but he's going to lose most of these Cavalier, isn't he? Oh, the pikemen mercilessly ramming through those. Oh, okay, I guess they're still alive somehow, but they're gonna start going down one after the other here. And 5 Cavalier down for 1 trebuchet, I believe. Not sure that's a great trade for now, though. It is able to secure a head start in this castle face-off. A lot of damage down onto your opponent's castle already, but there is repair villages for Hannes, which there isn't for Hopeless just yet. So actually, castle HP is very much similar. Now the repairs start coming in for Hopeless, but he started them very much late. Trebuchet is up again, and this time in a much better choke type of position where the opponent can't easily raid it. Second one goes up on top of this bombard cannon. Hopeless is going to lose this castle war, isn't he? He's got 3 trebuchets out now, 2 only firing though just yet. This is a close affair. He's bringing more and more villages to repair. Both players with plenty stone still left in the bank. And the Cavalier have gone in again, but they've not been able to take out the trebuchets. Oh, this is such a close call. It looks like Hannes' castle might go down after all. He's bringing more villagers forward to repair, but are they going to be in time? Oh, this is going to get real close and ugly. Both castles dropping low. Italians. Oh, God, looks like there was maybe a miss out of one of those trebuchets here. The villagers have arrived, the extra reinforcements. Is he actually doing it? It looks like he is. Oh, what a clutch reinforcement with the villagers. That might have just saved his push here. And with that, the game, as Hopeless's castle is the one to drop first. And Hannes keeps his one alive. That was such a close call. Someone maybe clip that clip that lowest HP number on the castle. I don't think. Maybe I didn't have it selected the entire time. But what a close call here, and it's Hannes that is able to keep his push up, able to break into the enemy walls, and the raids start coming in now with those knights in the enemy eco. Oh, you hate to see it for Hopeless, who's trying to put up another castle here, but he's lost all 3 of his trebuchets, so it's going to be very tough coming back from this one. Bombard cannon on top of the trebuchets. Great eco behind this for Hannes the entire time, up 30, 40 eco numbers. Oh, I think he might have just done it here. Castle is up again, but for how long there for the Magyars? Trebuchets are already firing again. Cavalier continue to go down. He doesn't have army numbers in order to push this one, and immediately just as this castle goes up, he's going to have to start repairing it again, and he doesn't have a lot of stone left. That second castle really cost him a lot. And one of the closest trebuchet fights that I've seen. Looks like it might have decided this game here in favor of Hannes, who's really getting all the upgrades now. Makes those knights even beefier. I'm gonna try and raid the eco again with those afterwards, I suppose. What's the answer for Hopeless gonna be? Oh, he doesn't have a lot, just some cavalry queued up right now. The castle trying to be kept up, but He doesn't have a lot of stone left. Where even is his stone? I can't even see where he's mining any. Is he even mining any? It says he's got 11 on stone. Oh yeah, it's here in the east. Oh, if he gets raided here, that might be terrible. He's already lost his entire castle again, it looks like. 4 trebuchets firing away. Bombard cannon there to boot. And the castle is down. I don't think he's got anything to put in the way of these Italians charging in here. Oh, the trebuchet is also going down. No tools to fight back against this wave of pikemen, man. He's not gonna get through there, is he? Oh no, I think this might be it for the man. He fought well. He even visited the stream chat earlier, but he's calling the GG now. I mean, I respect it. Nothing to do from this point forward, it doesn't look like. But man, what a series here between the two underdogs. And it is Hannes who ends up going into the semi-finals here, round of 4, as this 13th seed. Started from the bottom, now he's here. And gets a chance to still compete for all the marbles in this one, bracket G. Congrats to him, but also a solid tournament from Hopeless, able to get to round 2. I don't think I've cast his first round, but sure he did a good job there, advancing as the underdog. And ends up falling here. So sadly, this is going to be the only series that I get to cast today. It's already pretty late here, 11 p.m. And gotta get to school again tomorrow. But I appreciate still people coming out for this one. Hope you all have been enjoying this. I'll be back tomorrow with another cast, pretty sure. Although, depends when I get home, actually. I don't want to promise too much. Alright then, either way. It's been a pleasure. And we're going to continue casting some Pick Your Poison on this stream throughout the next couple of days. Thanks everybody for coming out. Congrats again to Hannes for advancing here. And I'll see you guys within the next couple of days. Take care, everyone. And continue supporting the event, most importantly.